Today we are reading a book about a courageous being called Beekle. Beekle is an unimagined friend who is yet to be made real to a little boy or little girl. This story tells of his quest to our world to find his special friend. Do you have an imaginary friend? What's their name? The Adventures of Beekle, the Unimaginary Friend by Dan Santat. He was born on an island far away from where imaginary friends were created. They lived and played, each eagerly awaiting to be imagined by a real child. Every night he stood under the stars, hoping for his turn to be picked by a child and given a special name. He waited for many nights. But his turn never came. His mind filled with the thoughts of all the amazing things that were keeping his friend from imagining him. So rather than waiting, he did the unimaginable. The story follows a formulaic narrative structure of a beginning, middle, climax, and resolution. The beginning tells the viewer of Beekle's desire to be a friend to a little boy or girl in the real world, as he wishes to have a sense of belonging. The story provides the main ideas of friendship, imagination, exploration, which are all intertwined throughout the text. The middle shows the escalation of the protagonist's attempt to resolve the problem. The text portrays this through Beekle's decision to undergo a quest to the real world in search of his special friend. The greatest challenge that Beekle faces is the desperate search of his friend in the real world. This climactic interlude in the text describes Beekle's journey and upon arrival being swept up into the hurried lifestyle of our world. He searches desperately through the streets, on the metro, and in restaurants. Upon wandering across the children's park, excitement grows as he sees children playing with their imaginary friends. But he still can't find his special friend. The resolution comes when he climbs a tree, this reference to height showing to the viewer the Beekle's escapism and need for perspective of his situation, height being the inference to see the bigger picture. Here, his special friend stumbles upon him. She is situated at the base of the tree, Beekle being above her shows the viewer of the ideal, this resolution that the two will become friends. Beekle is an unimagined friend. He is a small, white blob who wears a crown. His size and colour are significant to the depiction of insignificance that the story portrays. Something that is small is easy to neglect and forget about. They have to be searched for, rather than being obtrusively in the viewer's vision. His colour, white, infers a blank canvas, nothingness. This idea lends itself to the storyline, as the significance of colour will be changed when Beekle meets his real friend. We view Beekle as being socially obsolete. In the first few pages he is unnamed, referred to instead through the pronoun he. Nevertheless, he shows characteristics of gumption, courage, and desperation in his search to belong to a real friend. The setting of the story moves from the imaginary to the real world. The story opens on an island where the imaginary friends live and play. An island is symbolic of isolation, showing that the friends need to be imagined to belong and be integrated into the world. The setting then changes to the exploration component of the text. Beekle is seen to ride a boat through treacherous, vast ocean in his feet to get to the real world. This setting tells the audience of the uncertainty and potential danger that Beekle may come across. However, he rides at the back of a large whale. The whale has a child next to her. This invokes feelings of security, safety, and guidance, all maternal characteristics. This reassures the viewer that Beekle is protected. Upon arriving at the real world, we see groups of imaginary and real friends playing harmoniously together. On this page, there are nuanced references to characters of Beekle's journey, the imaginary dragon, whale, octopus, which were referred to earlier in the text. Focalization. Direct as viewer is the point of focalization used in the image. We are positioned to look into the scene. We are not directly involved with the attention of any character. There is no opportunity for social interaction between the character and the audience. The social distance is extremely remote. The subjects of the image are positioned far away from the viewer in a long shot. Salience. Salience is given to Beekle. The solid white colour and comparatively small size makes him stand out from the vibrant colours of the image's setting. He is also copied to multiple locations within the image to show his progress throughout the park. Beekle is a vector who draws the attention of the reader through the image. The gaze of Beekle also assists the viewer to know where to look. At the middle two instances, his gaze is to the interaction of the children with their imaginary friend, this being Beekle's ideal. The path of Beekle throughout the playground is inferred to the viewer through dotted lines. This provides the reader with a guide to where their attention should be throughout the image. I like the way that the author has used the pronoun he rather than naming Beekle in the first few pages of the text. This infers that the character does not belong. He is unnamed. He is yet to have an identity. This is also an appeal to the reader for compassion. Additionally, the story uses primarily verbal phrases as it tells the audience of the processes that Beekle is undertaking. For instance, no kids were eating, no one stopped to hear the music. The effect for the reader is the ease of following the movement of Beekle throughout his quest. It involves the reader in their journey. Can you see any others in the text? When teaching this to Stage 1 students, I would recommend the following lessons in the domains of language study, creative writing, and oral skills. Firstly, language study. This lesson will look at the grammatical conventions used in the text. To align with the syllabus outcomes of EN1 9B, the students will decipher the use of conjunctions when creating a compound sentence. This process will be modelled using the instructional writing cycle, which slowly reduces the reliance of teacher help throughout its various phases. Secondly, creative writing. The teacher should use the instructional writing cycle once again of modelled, guided, and independent work to deliver this class. The students will write an imaginative narrative about their imaginary friend. This outcome aligns with EN1 2A of the English syllabus. The aim of the class is to instill correct narrative writing structure in the child as shown in the text of a beginning, middle, climax, and resolution. The topic will promote creativity, invention, stimulation, and inspiration among the students. They will be encouraged to take risks in their writing, explore and play with language, with a particular focus on the show not tell method of writing. Finally, oral work. The aim of this class is to help students with their predictive reasoning skills. This lesson will take place when the teacher introduces the text to the student. At regular intervals throughout the text, the teacher will draw the student's attention to hints in the images or text and model their predictions of the outcome of the text. The teacher will then question the class as to what they think might happen next. The teacher may employ teacher talk as an interactive strategy to demonstrate to the students the process that they are going to make through their deliberations. The teacher should use explicit clues from the author as well as the schemas from their own personal experiences to make their judgments. To cater for students working toward, in the creative writing class, the teacher will provide prompt cards which detail a setting, character, and plot for the student to write about. For the students working beyond, they will be encouraged to find and discuss the compound sentences within the text. This may be extended by being introduced to compound complex sentences and their functions. To supplement this text, the teacher may use the story Strictly No Elephants. This story has a similar theme to that of Beekle. It will teach students about exclusion from a group based on characteristics and the want or need for everyone to belong. The second text is a short film called Migrants. This is a movie about two polar bears who are expelled from their homeland and have to make new friends and connections with other bears in different climates. A cross-curricular link for the text may be found in the PDHPE outcomes of PD1-1 and PD1-3. These involve students describing the qualities that make them similar and different to others, as well as students recognizing and describing qualities which enhance inclusive and respectful relationships.